People say to me all the time, Bill, why do you guys use the quantum scanner to confirm all your trades when using the Trend Trap Pro trading strategy? And that is the fifth step of the strategy and the final confirmation. And I'm going to show you why right here. So stick around here and make sure that you watch that. My name is Bill Soriano, and I've been trading Forex full time for about 2 years now. And as always, everything that I share with you on this video is for educational purposes only. It's not intended to be investment advice. And Forex is a risky business. You could lose all or part of your capital. So this morning here, I was looking at gold. We wanted to get in gold here. It had pulled back into these 1 hour zones here that we have. And by the way, had a beautiful gold trade activated yesterday here and ended up getting a 1 to 2 on it right here. You could see it actually pulled all the way back down almost to that break even point and then moved up to about a 1 to 2.5 before dropping off. Um, but it was in this area all overnight here, all night long, and we're looking to see if we can get a break out of this area here, if we can get an activation. So, and what happened was we have this trend line drawn here. We also have our neckline, and we got a 5 minute activation right here. We get a couple of them actually. We get this 5 minute candle opens and closes above the trend line. It also closes above the neckline. This other 5 minute candle right here, this really big one, does the same thing. So it really looks like that gold is going to activate for us. It's activating on our 5 minute. Now, we never did get a 15 minute activation, but it did activate on the 5 minute. So when I went over to the scanner, and let me just put this on here, gold for a second. And when I went to the scanner, let me show you the time of day here. This first activation goes off at like 9:35 a.m. this morning. So if we just scroll back a little bit here to like that time here, this is like 5. You could see that price is above the trend line. This is the trend line right here, this red, blue. It turns from red to blue based on the trend. So price, the trend line is blue and price is above the trend line. But notice what is different here. The candles are still red. So again, a lot of people think that they can duplicate the quantum scanner by just putting a certain moving average on their charts in TradingView, and then that will tell them if they're getting an activation on the scanner or not. But that's not true, because you see the quantum scanner has something built into it where it identifies momentum in the candles. So you could see here that even though these candles are closing up, so they're closing above the open, right? All of these candles here are closing up. They're still red on the scanner. And even though they're above that moving average, they're still red. Okay. And that's telling you that the momentum is still bearish, even though they are above the trend line and the trend line has turned blue. And you can see that it never turns blue, right? There was one candle right here that was just about to activate by staying blue, and right before the 1 minute candle closed, it turned back to red. And then you can see you never get an activation here on the quantum scanner on the 1 minute time frame in gold. And it's a good thing because look at what happened. Gold decided to just drop down. So my stop loss would have been right in this area here. Even if I would have covered this wick, which I would not have, I still would have got stopped out. So the quantum scanner will sometimes keep you out of a bad trade. It's not always going to do it, but you could see here proof today, this morning, that it kept me from taking that gold trade, even though I had two 5 minute candles activate on my TradingView chart, right? Two 5 minute candles activated. They opened and closed above the trend line, and they also closed above the neckline. Now, like I said, I didn't get a 15 minute activation, but I did get the two 5 minute activations, and had my scanner given me an activation on gold, you could bet I would have got in, but it did not, kept me out of bad trade. And that's why we use the quantum scanner for that fifth and final confirmation to take the trade. Remember, trend trap is a 5-step trading strategy. The first step is to identify the daily highs and lows, the daily high range and the daily range low, right? So let me say it again. Identify the daily range high, the daily range low. This tells us whether or not we want to take a trade. In other words, if we're too close to the high, we don't want to take a buy. If we're too close to the low, we don't want to take a sell. When we get in a trade, it kind of tells us where our targets are at, if we have enough room to get to our target, right? So that's the first step. The second step is to drop down to the 4-hour time frame and identify the trend. We have a very unique way of doing this. We have a unique way of identifying a break of structure. It's different from what everyone else shows. I go over it on my videos. So if you want to learn that, go back to my last video, I think, in this playlist, and you'll be able to see that as well. And then the third step is to identify the zone on the 1-hour time frame. These are support and resistance areas that we expect price to react from. Once they hit that zone, our alert goes off. Now it's go time. We drop down to the 15-minute. We look for that M or W. We look to draw a trend line, and we look for price to open and close on the correct side of that trend line for us to take the trade. That's an activation. That's the first confirmation. And then we go to the scanner, and we want to make sure that if it's a buy, we have a blue candle on the scanner open and close above the trend line. And if it's a sell, we have a red candle on the scanner open and close below the trend line. That's the 5-step, guys. And this is the reason why we use it, because you could see here, it kept me out of this gold trade, because even though price was above the trend line and the candles were, closing above the open, the candle bodies were still red on the scanner, and that stopped me from taking the trade. You could see here that the last blue candle we got that opened and closed above the trend line was back at 9:04 this morning, right? And that was well before we got any activation on the trading view chart. So that's why we use the quantum scanner, guys. And if you want to get it, it's just one of 9 scanners you get access to when you join our trading community. But it's the only one we use for Trend Trap Pro. We use no indicators, purely price action. We just use this scanner as the fifth and final step, the final confirmation of whether or not to take the trade. So if you like this video, if you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe to my channel and leave a comment below. If you want to take this 7-day test drive, try out our trend trap strategy, get the video boot camp training, get on the live sessions with Jay 5 days a week, or watch the recordings if you can't make the live sessions. Get access to the 24-hour trend trap chat room channel. Just drop me a message and I'll send you a link. Have a great day, guys.